Hello, Raindrops, new subscribers, and old friends, and welcome to Government Minutes That Matter. This is Mr. A, joining you from Studio B at Government Headquarters in Texas, urging you to do three things before we begin. Like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, and click on that notification bell so you know when our videos come out. As always, this video is dedicated to the glory of God who blessed this land. I want to talk to you today about the members of Congress. Our Congress is bicameral, meaning two houses, the House of Representatives and the Senate. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the money they receive for their services, a little bit about who they are, the privileges they have, and that kind of stuff. Just kind of a general catch-all before we start talking about how things work in each house. First of all, the members of the House of Representatives and the Senate are paid by the Treasury for their services. Most senators and representatives receive a salary of $174,000 a year. In the House of Representatives, the Speaker of the House, currently there is not one, is paid $223,500, and the majority and minority leaders get $193,400. In the Senate, the President Pro Tem of the Senate receives a salary of $193,400. The majority and minority leaders, $193,400, and all other senators, $174,000. Now, that is a good amount of money. That is a very good amount of money for most people. But they do have certain expenses that we don't have. A second home in Washington. Because remember, they just work in Washington. They don't live there. Yes, they have a place to stay, but their official residence is back in their home state or home district, which is in a state. And so they have two households to maintain and the payments for a mortgage and electricity and heating and air conditioning, etc., etc. And so they do have some expenses that we do not have. Their clothing expense is probably a little higher than mine because they can't be seen in the same suit episode after episode like I can. And so they have several other things that help them out with their budget. They get a travel allowance going to and from Washington several times a year. They pay very little money for life and health insurance. They have what's called the franking privilege. Now, anytime an official, a congressman or senator is conducting official business through the mail, they have what's called the franking privilege. All that means is they don't need a stamp. All they need is their signature on the envelope. And so all official correspondence, not campaign correspondence, but official correspondence is paid for by the U.S. taxpayer with the franking privilege. They also get the free printing of speeches and newsletters, help with research from the Library of Congress. Radio and TV tapes can be produced at very low cost. In the Capitol, there are two gyms with swimming pools, exercise rooms, and saunas that they can take advantage of. And they get free parking at the Capitol and at Washington, D.C. airports. Obviously, every job has its perks, and these are some pretty good ones for our members of Congress. There are 5 roles members of Congress play. Depending on how you feel about them, the order could be different than what I read off here. First, they are legislators. These bills have to be written. Bills do not write themselves. A member of Congress has to have an idea and has to present it to the Congress, introduce it to the Congress, so they are legislators. Number 2, they are representatives of their constituents. They represent the people back home, either the state or their district that they're from in the House. They are committee members. Each body in the Congress, the House and the Senate, does have several committees which take bills and sift through them and look through them and get testimony for and against the bill. For and against the bill. And for a bill to survive, it has to survive the committee process. And so every member of Congress, either the House or the Senate, is assigned to several committees or subcommittees to do that kind of work. Number 4, they are servants of their constituents. I bet you didn't know you had servants, did you? These are the people to call when you've tried everything else to deal with the national government and you're not getting anywhere. Social Security is stonewalling you, not giving you answers. You need some help with some military matter, an old service record or an old award that you should have been awarded or never got awarded, but you deserved it. And these are where you call these people's offices and you get someone to help you with the bureaucratic maze and red tape that is Washington, D.C. And number 5, they are politicians. They have to get reelected, elected or reelected, and they have to play the game. They have to give speeches. Every spring, they get invited probably to give the commencement address to several colleges, universities, and high schools. They have to go into the parades and do the waving at the parade and show that they support this holiday or that holiday. And so that is a job that is grueling. That is a job that is, if you ask me, it's a little very tedious and something I would not want to do. So, but they do play those 5 roles, and depending, most people say they're politicians first, and go from there. But it's up to you to decide what you think they do first. So, who is in Congress? What type of people are in Congress? Well, the average age in the House is in this Congress is 57.9 years old. In the Senate is 64 years old. 96% of these people have a college education. Most identify as Christian. In the House and Senate combined, 154 members are women, 60 are African American, 62 are Hispanic, 21 are Asian, and 5 are Native American. Other things, so it's not exactly a cross-reference, a cross-section of America. It is too old, it is too white, and it is too male. But that's who's elected, and the people of the United States elect these people to go up there and do the job. And so we are a representative democracy, and that's who we wanted. Let's talk about congressional pay a little bit more. They do get paid very well. However, I will give them credit that this pay has been frozen since 2009. So they can vote themselves a pay raise anytime they want. However, because of the 27th Amendment, once they vote themselves a pay raise, there has to be an election that takes place, and that happens every 2 years in November, every even-numbered year, every 2 years in November, for that raise to take effect. And so there is a limit on me, if I'm in Congress, voting myself a pay raise and just getting it automatically. I have to go defend it to the people in order to get reelected and then get the pay raise. Also, while they're in Congress, while they're in session, which is most of the year now, they are free from arrest, except in cases of treason, felony offenses, and breach of the peace. They are free from arrest while they're in session or going to or coming from Washington. This was put in to the Constitution in order to make sure our lawmakers were not harassed by local officials. And so anything done in the context of their official duties, either on the House floor, the Senate floor, in committee, subcommittees, hearings, etc., they are free from not just arrest, but they are also free from being sued for libel or slander, because our founding fathers wanted free debate, wanted free and open debate. They didn't want congressmen and senators to be nervous about saying anything for fear they'd be dragged into court for it. So they do have the freedom to speak. It's called the Free Speech and Debate Clause, so that they may have a unfettered, open, and honest debate about issues and sometimes people. And so those are just some of the things. There are a lot of other things that are Congress perks, if you will, that they have. These are some of the major ones. And tell me what you think. Do you think they deserve all that? Put that in the comments. If not, what should we take away? What should we have to make them do? Make them do for themselves. So right now, you and I are supporting all this with our taxes. Is that a good thing or not? I hope you paid attention, because there will be a test the next election. This is Mr. A, thanking you for stopping by today. I appreciate your time. If you haven't already, subscribed to the channel. We'll see you next time.